If you're looking for solutions to keep working in cold weather, then keep watching. In this video, I'm just going to show you my solutions that I've learnt over the years to keep me going during cold weather. There's been times in the past where it stopped me, and there's been times where I've managed to overcome it and keep going. So this is everything I can pass on to you. Right, I'm fortunate that I can park my van down the side of my house, tight to the building, and that alone sometimes protects it from the cold winds. But in really cold weathers, I have to take measures to stop things from freezing up. My son's reel, which is on the far side of the van, that tends to freeze up. Mine, which is closer to the house, tends to get away with it. So if you're lucky enough and you can choose where to park your vehicle, think about trying to put it in some form of shelter. Another good thing about being close to the house is I can run an extension cable from the house round to the back of the van. And then inside the van, what I've got, if I open up the doors for you, is an electric heater, but it's one of the oil radiator heaters. It's got safety features on it, so if it gets too hot, it cuts out. Obviously, it's got a thermostat as well, and it's got an anti-tip feature. Also, the extension cable I use is one I use for me gutter clearing, so that's got safety features on it as well. Because I've got underfloor roller guides, what I can do is get my extension lead in the van, feed the plug down through these the same way I do with my hoses, so that way I can keep all the van doors shut, and then I can power the radiator off from that. What the heater does is it stops as well all the water in the hoses from freezing up, or the pipe work that's going from your water pump to your reel hose as well. If they freeze up, you ain't going to get any water, so that keeps that above freezing and keeps you going. What I tend to find is the water inside the water tank, because it's such a large volume, that doesn't actually freeze up. Even my 25 litre barrels inside the van, because the van's tucked against my building and a bit sheltered, plus the radiator, they don't freeze up as well. Right, now your tank's okay. All the hoses coming from your tank to your hose reel, that's all kept fine and above freezing. But the other problem you may get is your pole hose. Any water in there can freeze overnight. Also the poles as well. If you're like me, you've got the tubeless system from Exceed Innovations. Water inside the pole hose, that can be frozen. You also get it inside the brush heads and the hoses that you've got here in the gooseneck, and inside the gooseneck itself can freeze up. I've got a solution to get that stuff defrosted for you as well. So I use a bucket of water, warm water, and inside there I stick the whole brush head system and the gooseneck itself. That will all be then defrosted and good to go. And then what I also do is use the pole hose that's connected to my main hose. I take that off, because if you find that gets frozen, the actual hose on the reel, I find that's not too bad. But hopefully, because you've put the radiator in the night before, remembered it, it will keep all this lot frost free, and you won't have to do this to keep you going. What you might find though, during the day, all this hose is going to freeze up because it's laying on the floor, and because I haven't got a hot water system, I've got no option but to quickly nip home, stick it in a bucket of warm water, defrost it, get back out. Another good reason to have all your work local to your house. Another thing you'll find is if you've got a static RODI system like me, it's set up inside this shed. I've got it insulated inside the shed against the cold weather, so that's no problem. But what you have got a problem with is the feed of the water going in, and also the wastewater coming out of your system. That's all going to get frozen. So again, how I get around this then is I'm going to defrost the hose from the outside tap that goes all the way in towards the shed. I disconnect it using hose connectors. Put this in a warm bucket of water, get it all defrosted, and exactly the same with the outlet taking my wastewater down the soakaway. I'm going to have to disconnect all that, put that inside warm water to defrost everything. Then I can hook it all back up so that when I run the system to make pure water, as long as the water's flowing, it shouldn't freeze, and then it allows me to make pure water for the following day. Otherwise, without it, I still ain't going to work. Hopefully you found these tips all helpful for you. If you're like me as well, we haven't got a hot water system and it's on your dream sheet. Has been for a number of years, but I keep getting these knockbacks and I can't get one sorted out. Here's the next year maybe. All these things hopefully will help keep you working, because without the cash flow in, ain't gonna meet the cash flow going out. If you like the video, give us a like, thumbs up, it's all free, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to keep up to date with new content that I make. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.